Well, I must say that I was a bit surprised. Not many foreigners get this award. I was, of course, felt very honored that the Indian government, India is a very large country. It takes, the wheels move in a certain way, and for them to recognize, I felt was very flattering, and I felt humbled in a way, in the sense that there are so many people who are engaged in Singapore with the Indian business and so on, but that I should have fallen into the radar screen, not into the radar screen, but being captured on the radar screen. I felt was very, very, I had a good feeling about it. Yeah. Another award was that friend of IT. This, I'm not an IT man at all, so it's a little ironic. But I was given this award for another little initiative that I started. The Malayali community celebrated the first Onam celebration in 1997, 98, by getting all the Malayali organizations. They never get together, but this is the first time they got together to hold a function, and where Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, at that time, I think Deputy Prime Minister, was the guest of honor. And then I said, we should do something, not just give an award or give a book or whatever. We must do as a community something that will be good for the entire Indian community. And I thought of providing computers to low-income families. So we devised a scheme whereby we collected old computers, refurbished them, and then supply at a very low price to low-income families. And this was announced by the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Lee. He thought it was a very good gesture, a very good initiative. So he gave it full support. There has been many diaspora events. You know, the Gujaratis have got together, Sindhis have got together, Malayalis have got together, Telugus, Tamils and so on. But nobody had thought of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and so on coming together.
Okay.
And we worked on the assumption, on the belief that South Asians outside South Asia, in other words the diaspora, don't carry the baggages that they carry within their own country. In other words, they will have prejudices against, say, Indians may not be very comfortable dealing with Pakistan, or Sri Lankans may not be very comfortable with India or Bangladesh or whatever. Whereas once they are outside, they all look the same. They integrate much faster. They become very friendly. I know in the US, for instance, many Indians and Pakistanis are the best of friends. They've got so much in common, you know, culturally so much in common. Heritage is common. So they come together naturally. Now, if you say, I will have it in Colombo, or I will have it in Dhaka, this diaspora event, it will be very difficult, because then the baggage comes in. Whereas you have a very, place like Singapore, very neutral, no vested interest, no agenda. We have such a gathering, it has an impact, and they bring it together. This was the first one. We will have the second one in 2013. But what I'm hoping is there will be greater economic integration.
Right.
Regional or country-wise integration, very difficult.
That's why it's
Business-wise, there was a proposal made at the last diaspora event. The Indian delegate, namely Tarun Das, suggested that India should do away with all tariffs to other South Asian countries. As the big power, as the most successful economy, we can afford to say, I'll collect no taxes from any of the products made in the neighboring country. I think this is an excellent idea. If you have that, you will find that everybody will flourish, But India must take the lead. India, of course, the bureaucrats will start worrying first. Others will put label, Maybe products coming from China will say made in Bangladesh and it enters India that way. So that's their fear. But you can be afraid of things and not do anything. It's better to do something and face. If there is some such thing happening, you face it. You take action against it. Not say, no, nothing should be done. That seems a very negative approach to a problem which can be easily solved. I've always gone where my heart dictated. I've never been worried about whether it gives you a position, it gives you money. If you keep chasing money, I think that's a wrong way to go. If you like to write or you like to draw, do it. Eventually it may bring success, eventually it may bring you money. Maybe nothing will happen and you will be just another writer, another artist, unrecognized. But I think at the end of the day, it will give you satisfaction that you have done something that you always wanted to do. But I agree that you can't starve. I like to write poetry, but it won't put bread on my table. So I have to balance it somewhere. In life, balance is very, very important. You see, when you learn martial arts, the thing that teach you first is balance. Because you lose your balance. Even the weakest fellow can defeat you. But as long as you keep your balance, in life that is very important. Balance, there's so many factors that affect your life, but you keep your balance. There are times when you must let your hair down, times when you must explode a little bit, because these things are in you. It's better to let it off. But at the end of the day, you must find balance.